Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to day 14 of 31 days of Halloween. Welcome. I am Teresa, and this is Teresa's Spot for Art, where I love sharing art from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in your life through some fun, simple, and quick Halloween projects. So I have a delightful one for you today. This is Beetlejuice inspired. Okay, so I have out a tracer. If you click the link in the comment section, you will get this tracer as well as the supply list. I am painting on a 9x14 canvas today, and I'm just going to get started tracing this out. So, how have you guys been enjoying so far the 31 days of Halloween? I'll tell you what, for the most part, I have been loving it. There's quite a bit that goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't see. And that is a little bit of work as far as the tracers and prepping the supply list for everyone and keeping you guys all updated with the daily emails. However, I'm not going to complain because it has been so much fun. It has woken up quite a bit of creativity in me because I am doing things that are definitely out of my comfort zone. Not all the projects are painting related, and it has been really good. So I'm excited to have taken this on, and I'm excited to be sharing it with you guys. So again, I am tracing this. It is graphite paper, making the bottom. And I believe that gotta do my eyes. Little cutout here for the nose. So this is a Beetlejuice inspired painting. It's a lot of fun. I do it in black, white, green, and purple. But you can choose your own colors. You guys know, if you've been following me long enough, or if you're new here, I always pretty much say suggested supply list. You know what? Your art, your way. Okay, I have it out traced, and I am going to put out some paint. I'm going to start with some black, some white. Oh, my white is stuck. That's not good. There we go. Nothing a skewer can't fix, right? A little bit of purple and a little bit of green. I love these palettes and these projects, you guys, that only take a few colors. Okay. I have out a liner brush and a 1/2-inch flat brush. I have a wider brush, but I don't think I'm going to need my wide brush. I might just use my 1/2-inch flat brush. Okay. All right. I'm going to get a Sharpie. I'm just going to do, and this way I'm doing this, and this is a trick for you guys. Because it's Halloween, I can do it with this black Sharpie. Ordinarily, I would not use Sharpie to trace my designs. But because it's Halloween inspired, the palette has a lot of black and dark purple in it, I can do this. Because this way, when I start painting in everything, I'll be able to see all this stuff. So if I make a mistake and I go over anything, I'm okay because I'll be able to see those things. And that's all I'm going to trace with the black. So that's fine. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to pick up some black on my brush, and I'm just going to start at the top. If you wanted to, and you had a black canvas, that could totally work. It would be a little bit harder to get the white onto the pumpkin, but it could work. Also, if you wanted to do the background first and then trace your design onto it, in that case, you'd probably have to use graphite paper for white backgrounds, but you could do that too. And as I do this, I'm going to now start adding in purple to my design. So all the top was black, solid black on my brush. But as I work my way down here, I'm picking up some purple. And I'm just really messily adding it in here. I got to get around my pumpkin stem. And I'm just going to come back in here and do a little blending. So back up to the black for the top. But as I work my way down, I'm going to start blending in some purple. Oh, I forgot my thing. Let me grab my, no wonder why it felt weird. Let me grab my Lazy Susie. There we go. Much better. Okay. So now I have my purple, and I'm just going to start adding in. Now this part here, even though we have the stem in between, we're going to pretend like the stem isn't there because our background is going to keep going. That's why I said if you wanted to do your background first, where it would just be one complete blend back and forth, you could do that and then put your design on after. So I'm just working my way down, working in the purple, and in a minute we're going to start picking up this really bright mint green. When I'm trying to fill in the nooks and crannies, I will do my brush any way I have to accomplish that. But once we have filled in the nooks and crannies, you want to come back and go over your brush strokes so they are uniform and either horizontal or perpendicular or whatever you want them to be. If you wanted this purple more pronounced, you can wait for your painting to dry a little bit and then come back in with the purple and it'll be much brighter. Okay, so now I have the purple. I'm going to come work my way down here a little bit with the purple. I'm outlining the outside of my pumpkin. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit of green. I'm going to start working in this green. So I'm going to work the green in, up, and then down. So I have some green here. I'm going to work it up into the purple. And then down. And the same thing on this side. Up into the purple a little bit. And then down. Okay. And as I work my way down, now I just want green. And then I'm actually going to start picking up some white. I'm just wiping off my brush. And now I'm going to go straight into the white with my dirty brush. And I'm going to do the bottom. So I have all these beautiful colors coming out of my brush. But it's mostly now, I'm just picking up the white. I'm doing the under. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit more green for in here, for where our green and our white meet. Same thing here. Okay, and we're just going to let that dry a little bit. Okay, and we're good. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to wash my brush. Now I have a little bit up here that I want to fix. Sometimes these canvases, you think you have everything all covered, and then the weave on the canvas, and it's more obvious when it's just black paint, I guess, because the contrast between the white canvas and the black paint. Sometimes you're painting, and then the canvas has these little tiny air bubbles, and before you know it, they pop open, and then it's like you didn't even paint that section. So I wanted to fix that a little bit. And then I'm just going to wash my brush. Okay. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to base coat my entire pumpkin white. This is why I put the eyes and the mouth, so I'll be able to see them. I can still see my pencil marks for when I do my segments. Picked up a little bit of purple there. I don't care, and you'll see why. But this way I'm going to do my whole pumpkin white, and then I'm going to come back in and add the details with the eyes and whatnot, and you'll see why. This way we're not painting one stripe. This is going to be striped pumpkin, Beetlejuice inspired. We're not painting one stripe white and then one stripe black and then one stripe white. No, we're painting the whole thing white, and then we're going to come back in and add in our details and our black. Okay, so we're just going to let that dry a little bit. And I'm going to come down here, lighten this up a little bit down here. Okay, and I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to take my green. I'm applying a little bit of pressure to my brush so I can get a decent amount of green paint in my bristles. And now I'm going to start to do my stem. Where the stem meets the pumpkin, it's a little bit of a scallop. And now I'm just going to start filling this whole thing in with the base coat. I'm turning as I go. When I come up here and it's a little narrow, I use my brush on the chisel edge. Instead of on the flat would be this, on the chisel edge would be the narrow edge. And I'm just coming in here. And right now, this is just color blocking. I just want to get in here the color that I need for my stem. And I'm going to switch brushes in a minute. I want this green to be nice and dark. Okay. I'm going to pick up my liner brush because a couple of these thorns and twirls need the liner brush. So I'm coming in here with the liner, and now I'm going to start adding in the thorny parts that stick out from the stem. So I'm going to come around for this one and come in. And then with the thorns, I start out here a little bit, and then they get thicker as they attach into the fat part of the stem. So when I'm out here, I'm on the thin side, then I add a little bit of pressure because you want where the thorns attach to be a little bit thicker at the base and thinner at the top. Now I'm just adding a little bit of shading into my thorn, into my stem rather. I'm just coming around with my brush. This is nice and green out here. Oh, I've got a little bit of white paint on there. I'm going to have to fix that. Okay. And when we do the thorns, I'll show you again. I'll do one out here. Light pressure, but then thick pressure where it attaches. So it's a little bit thicker on the stem part. Okay. And then I'm just going to use my dirty brush, pick up a little bit of purple, and I'm going to come in here right along the inside and make it a little bit shady on the inside of the stem where it's meeting up with the purple to the outside. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of shading in here. Okay. And then a little bit down here as well into what I already added. Just pulling up my dirty brush, just pulling a little bit up. Okay, and I'm going to wash my brush. Now in the same way we added a little bit of shading, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to add a little bit of highlight to the top of my thorns and my stem. So I'm just going to pull in a little bit of white up here, a little bit of white along here, and have some little bit of highlight to this side. Okay. And then I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to go back to my little flat brush, my 1/2-inch flat brush. Let's see if I can fix this a little bit. So I spilled a little bit of white paint, and I'm just coming back. I picked up a little bit of the black and the purple, and I'm just fixing that spot. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to load my brush up with the black. And we have these segments over here. I'm going to start here. Chisel edge, a little bit of pressure, and then back up to my chisel edge. So chisel edge, and I'm making like this apostrophe stroke. Okay? The same thing over here. Start at the top, light pressure, a little bit more pressure, and then light pressure right down to the base of the pumpkin. Okay? More black. Same thing here. Light pressure to heavy pressure, except this one, this stripe is a little bit thicker. So this stripe gets 2 strokes. And I'm just filling it in. Again, we have the air pocket issue with our canvas. Okay. I have one there, one there. Do I have another one? Yeah, I have one at the very end here. So I'm going to get some more black. I'm going to come up here. And the same thing. This one's a little thicker. You want them to curve. They look like, they're going to look like a pair of parentheses, but it's important that you have them curve. Okay? Right. I'm going to go back to my liner brush because these sections are small. And I need to fill in. Our eyes come up and our face comes up in between. So these sections are curved, but we have our mouth and our eyes in between. So I'm just filling these in. Okay? And then the same thing up here. So there's one. Oh, picked up white by mistake. And then here's the other. And we're just filling it in. I'm going to come around here and I'm just going to outline the outside of our pumpkin. This is going to bring the whole thing together now. Okay? There's a couple of little spots I have to fix, but that is easy enough for me to show you how we're going to do that. Oh, dropped on there too. Now I'm going to do my eyes. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to fill in my eyes. Now, a secret, and you guys might be saying, what the heck? A secret to art is don't judge your art until it is done. We are base coating. We are then color blocking. Then we're going to go back and we're going to add some details. Then we're going to shade and highlight. There's lots going on here, and you cannot judge your painting until it is complete. Okay? There's way too much going on for you to judge your painting with like the first 2 or 3 steps. Nope. Because we have so many steps and so many little details to add. Not so many that it's tedious and you're going to be like exhausted, but it is a process. And we start with like the bottom elements and we work our way up. And there's a reason why some things get painted first, and there's a reason why some things get painted last while your painting develops. And so if you just do your background and you're like, oh no, what happened? You can't really judge your painting by the background. You have to keep going until all is said and done. And that's when you know how good you did. Yeah, and I'm going to say it, how good you did. All right, so let me wash my brush. And first off, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to bring in some white. I'm going to fix that part. See how easy that was? I waited for my black to dry, and I can come right in here and fix that. Okay? Then I got a little bit carried away with the black in here. So I'm going to come in, and I'm going to fix that as well. So I want this black stripe here to be a little bit more narrow. And I'm going to wash my brush. Okay? So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to pick up some purple. And I'm just going to make a little bit of vines down here. on the bottom. Of my art. Just to be a little bit creative. That's it. So we put that underneath the table. I'm going to pick up a little bit of black here, and I'm going to add in a little bit of shading under our pumpkin. Just a little bit. I'm coming out to one side and then down the middle. Not too much. I'm just messily painting in. My brush was dirty, and I'm just dragging it across. Okay? A little bit of shading on the bottom. I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to get the back of my brush, the handle. I'm going to dip here, and I'm going to do one pupil and the other pupil. Just adding those little pupils there makes such a difference. I'm going to pick up some white on my liner brush. I'm going to let a little bit of highlight to the nose. And then the same thing to the black. And then just a little bit, not too much, a little bit of highlight to the black stripes, and then a little bit of highlight to where I outlined the pumpkin on the outside. Okay. Then I'm going to take a little bit of black and I just outlined my stem a little bit. And now I'm bringing the lines of my stem up. You know, I don't know if you know, but it's called a carbuncle or something. A stem has a lot of pieces that are growing into it. I'm just adding in a little bit of shading and adding in a little bit of this detailed line work into the stem, and they all coming up from the top. And there we go. Isn't that fun? You could put a stencil up here. You could put Happy Halloween. I could come up here and I could put in some stars if I wanted to. I'll just do some purple too. I love taking the back of my brush and adding details to my paintings. And we can do it with the purple and the green. It just makes for a much more interesting backdrop. Or you can leave it if you want. It's totally up to you. I'll grab some more purple. And there we go. So let me turn you guys around. And here we are. Day 14, my Beetlejuice inspired pumpkin for 31 days of Halloween. Thanks, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.